Speaker, I yield myself as much time as I may consume.
Gentleman's recognized.
I think one of the big problems with Washington is everyone finds excuses not to do the right thing. Truth is, we need research and development here in America, not overseas. We need the jobs that come with that here in America, not overseas. We need, frankly, the future for America here rather than overseas. And Republicans and Democrats both agree on that, both sincerely agree on that. But today we heard excuses, and we'll hear excuses. We are told this doesn't fund infrastructure. It doesn't. This is about funding infrastructure of research and development and innovation, not through the government. This is through our entrepreneurs, through Apple and Microsoft and all the new research and groundbreaking drugs and medical breakthroughs. That's how we're funding the infrastructure of our future. Roads and bridges, we will tackle in another bill. We're told this isn't comprehensive tax reform. No, it's not. It's a critical step forward in that by taking a provision that's been temporary far too long and making it a permanent part of our tax code so that we can invest in R&D with certainty, so we can have honest scorekeeping in our budget, and so we can take that first step toward real comprehensive pro-growth tax reform. We're told today, as we've heard in the past, it's not paid for. But in fact, through the extensions since 1981, these provisions haven't been paid for. Our Democrat friends passed these bills and supported them. They weren't paid for. We have done the same. It was 1 year or 2 year at a time. And so to say this is fiscally irresponsible when they voted so many times to do the same thing seems to me to be another excuse. The cost of doing this permanently is no more than the cost of doing it 1 or 2 years at a time. To think otherwise is sort of the line of saying, you know, that dessert doesn't have calories if I eat it standing up. Well, the cost of R&D is the same, but the cost of not making it permanent is very much not the same. We know the impact will be fewer jobs here in America, more R&D in China, and we will lose our lead in the world as the world's innovator. So no more excuses. What we're looking for today is a bipartisan effort to make sure those jobs are here in America, that our companies have a chance to invest more and more and more each year. That's what we want them to do. We want to give college graduates hope. As the majority leader from California noted, 4 out of 10 college graduates either can't find a job or they're working behind a cash register. Well, that's wrong. We ought to give them some opportunity. We ought to give them some jobs and some hope. And those college graduates are skilled and talented, and they deserve to be part of America's innovative society. That's what they deserve. That's what we're going to deliver to them. And while my Democrat friends, I'm thrilled they're talking about the deficit, but I wish they would have acted upon it earlier. The first year they took control of this House under the former Speaker, they doubled the deficit. The second year, they tripled the deficit. The third year, they took it over $1 trillion again, till the American public said enough. And what we got for all that spending was the worst economic recovery in half a century. We're missing 6 million jobs from America's economy. We have fewer people working in the workforce than we did before the recovery actually began. In some ways, we're going backward, especially for our young people. So today, in this bill, this is research and development both parties support. And the only reason we're hearing the excuses is that it's a Republican bill this time. That's the only reason. Research and development is not a Republican proposal. It's not a Democrat proposal. It's an American proposal we all support. We think our economy ought to grow not in Washington but back home. That innovation matters, and the way we do that is to recapture America's leadership in R&D for all those reasons, and for the support from entrepreneurs and manufacturers and technology companies back home all across America. I urge that we stop the excuses. We join together as Republicans and Democrats. We take back America's leadership in innovation and create the jobs that our young people deserve. With that, I yield back.
Gentlemen.